boy, it's a scary. It must be that time of year again. What's that? Huh? Huh? It's a sugar booger right there in front of you. Okay. I believe it is your turn to tell a spooky story.
Yeah, I need to think of one because I feel like I'm maxed out on spooky stories.
You told me one.
I know, but that was like the most
These.
memorable one.
Okay. Well,
But
then I'll.
let me just have a think, and something will like come back to
Sure.
fruition.
Would it help if I spoke of another one of my spooky stories, or?
Yeah, yeah, that would help.
Okay. Um.
Give me some time.
There
Okay.
was a young man, whom of which lived a normal life, socially awkward, amongst his teens in high school. Like some very gifted children, this one could see ghosts. More specifically, one ghost. He lived his days mildly haunted by a brunette figure. He'd see this poltergeist here and there, walking about her business, and he'd even tell his sister about it. After a long period of explaining his tragic scenario to his beloved sister, she explains to him that she too believes in ghosts. As days became weeks, weeks became months, months became years, and this strange brunette figure was still there. He told his sister about it. Sister, sister, I am seeing a ghost. The sister explained that she already knew. Yes, brother, I know you're seeing a ghost. The brother says, how could you know, though? You don't know. Gosh, I scared myself a little with the door. How could you know, though? You can't see what I can see. The sister explains, trust me, I know that you see a ghost. As time passed by more, he got tired of seeing this ghost, eager to see if there's any reason as to why she was there, and if there's any way that he could help her be free. One brave, bold day, he decides to approach his poltergeist. He approaches the young girl with long brunette hair and the shadowy eyes of the grudge. She looks him dead in the eye, and he asks, why are you so quiet around me? Why do you always stare at me? What can I do for you? The young girl says, I'm sorry, and I was a bit shy to speak to you at first, but since you've approached me, I feel like I could talk about it a little bit easier. Baffled, now realizing that his so-called poltergeist is a real-life character, just socially awkward just like him, so he goes home to tell his sister. Runs into his mother. Hey, mother, have you seen Sis? I need to tell her something funny. Sis? Yes. Where's my sister? The mother says, Johnny, your sister died years ago.
Ooh, spooky!
What does he say?
Holy shit! Bad language is prohibited. I don't know. What do you want him to say?
I don't know. I just want to know what his reaction is to that.
Okay, okay, I'll continue then. His eyes widen. A sweat bead rolls off of his face. This can't be, Jonathan says. By the way, his name is Jonathan now because that was the first name I thought
Oh, okay.
of. He runs upstairs to his father. Dad! Mom says sister is dead. Is that true? Jonathan, says the father. You say you were speaking to your mother? Your mother's been dead for years.
Ooh, spooky!
With even wider eyes and
Uh,
more sweat down his cheeks, he runs up to the attic. Grandpa! Grandpa! Dad says mother is dead. Is that true? Grandpa says, Jonathan, are you telling me that you have been speaking to your father?
I think it turns out that everyone in his family is dead, and then he realized that he himself is also dead. That's how he's seeing dead people.
Oh yeah, that would have been cool too. Alright, have you thought of anything yet? Because I pulled that one out of my butt.
I mean, apparently there was this woman who lived on a plot of land which wasn't owned by the school, but it was very close to the school. She was quite weird, and she kind of got brandished like a witch kind of thing. They tried to buy the land off her, but she was like, no, my family has lived on this land for generations and will continue to live here for generations. And then she died and she didn't have any children, but she kind of made true on her promise because instead of having children, she just became this eternal ghost that would stay on the land, and people would sometimes hear her scream at night when they were like walking past that cottage, which is still there. It now holds all the equipment for the rugby training. I never experienced anything like that when I was there. Never experienced any ghosts whatsoever.
Okay. Let me ask you a
But
question. What's more
yeah,
badass than rugby? Haunted rugby.
yeah, exactly. Haunted rugby.
Okay. Picture, if you will, an apartment building.
Okay.
Just a simple apartment building. Ooh, are you scared now? No? Okay. A lot of residents lived in this apartment building. It was 12 floors high. There were always rumors of a haunted room amongst the building. On floor 213, it was said that room 213 housed a beautiful middle-aged woman. Okay. I'm gonna get distracted if we're fighting the boss again, so. Wait, all players needed?
I'm right here.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. Okay, well, I'm gonna walk away and then come back.
Yeah, that works.
Booyah!
So yeah, what happened next?
Of a tragedy that happened in that very room with that very woman. She had been murdered. Before being stabbed brutally to death, her eyes were carved out. Sounds brutal, yeah?
That is brutal.
Leaving her skull with two gaping holes in them. But no one has spoke of that in years. And there's no use peeking into the keyhole because they've also blocked that off with like a sticky note. One day, our protagonist, walking along the apartment, gets a little curious. He lives on the fourth floor and decides to give the second floor a visit. What was it? What was it? Room 11? Room 14? Nope.
213.
There we are. Yeah, sorry, I was just saying it for dramatic effect. He thought to himself, I forgot to add. Ah, yes, it was 213. It wouldn't hurt to take a peek in there, right? This is the first time he's ever heard of such a legend. Of course, he'd be curious. He pokes his eye in, and sure enough, it's blocked off by a red sticky note. Well, so much for that. The very next day, while entering back into the apartment, he hears some chatter going on in the lobby. I saw her! I saw her! Says this frail old woman, who apparently was around when this beautiful woman we spoke about was murdered. I saw her, I swear. Oh, hush now, madam. There's no need to panic. She's no longer haunting us here. But I saw her walking around. I looked into her keyhole, and I saw a white figure. Are you sure that that wasn't some of our authority staff keeping the room clean? I'm absolutely positive. I could recognize her anywhere. And so, the protagonist we were talking about kind of ponders the situation. Hey, wasn't that keyhole blocked off by a red sticky note? And as he was thinking this, the old woman frantically explains, she turned around, revealing her pale white face and her red glowing eyes.
Ooh, spooky.
Anyway, that's it. I know it took me like a century and a half to say that story.
It takes a lot for me to get scared. That's why I don't have scary stories.
Okay, and do you have stories that
But
will
I
scare
do.
children?
I
Don't tell the stripper one, please.
No, not really.
Once there was a man who lived in an average world. Full of absolutely nothing but average people.
Huh. You don't have any more scary stories, huh?
None that I can think of, sadly.
Okay, I'll try to think of another one. And maybe I'll inspire you to think of a random story as well.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing. Yeah, you alright?
Oh yeah, look, you guys get the shovels around here?
Shovels. No, I don't think we do.
No?
No.
I thought we had shovels around here. They must have took them down the kind in my dad's truck or something.
Yeah.
We forgot at work, so I said, stop by over here, grab a shovel real quick.
Okay. Well, you can stop by my parents' place. There are a bunch of shovels there.
Oh yeah. Now if I go back there, I'll go back up to the hospital.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Alright man.
All right. See you. Okay. Brother-in-law looking for a shovel.
Not to dig graves, is it?
What was that?
Not to dig graves.
Not to dig graves. I thought you said someone's name and that person's name was like Dick Graves.
That's actually quite a plausible name as well.
Yeah, it
Dick
is.
Graves.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Richard Graves.
Yeah.
And boy, do I have a product for you. Are you tired of anyone you love? Period. Are you tired of hearing the tragic stories of those with big penises not having a proper burial? Well, we at Dick Graves have the perfect thing for you. Here in our day and age, there's just no easy way to ask for penis worship after death. That's why I and my co-founder, Willie Coffin, have decided to make this product.